Okay, this special PowerPoint for the wedding. Like I said, Paul, in his line of work, makes PowerPoints every day, gets paid a good salary for it. I got nothing for this, so this is the show. I know how to make a PowerPoint. It's a wedding date. Obviously, this isn't our Paul and Louise, but I made this in Thailand. I was using Google Images. I actually typed in Paul and Louise wedding day, and they came up. So, it's a winter wedding as well. Don't know if you know the snowy mountains in the background. It's got to be said, Paul's looking well. He's clearly lost a bit of weight for the big occasion. But while Louise looks well, Louise and I, may I say, we often row, but today she does look amazing, so I'll just... Okay, just wanted to check that off the list. Get the pleasantries out of the way and then get on with the revenge. So here goes. Now, what I'm going to say is fitting to the day, sorry, but this is Christmas week. This week is Christmas, which marks the birth of Jesus, who was a great miracle worker. And what I want to say, today what we witnessed today with Louise marrying Paul is nothing short of a miracle. Again, Google Images, what can I do? That was the first thing that came up, I was in a rush. So anyway, it's nothing short than a miracle. Just going to go right through the reasons why. Just trivia question to anyone out here, hands up. Who knows what Jesus is the greatest miracle worker? Some are preaching. Who knows what Jesus' first miracle was? Hands up. Come on, there must be some. Hands up. Yep. Pyramids. Nazareth. The wedding. Water into wine. And where was it? Cana. Oh, okay, yeah, it was at a wedding. Anyway, there's no need for water into wine today. It's 3 bars till what time? 10-ish. 10-ish. So it's not half the minute. Okay. So, why is Paul's marriage to a beautiful woman a miracle? Again, Google Images came up with Paul McCartney. The reason for that is obvious. He's a talented musician. Reason number 1. Paul shouldn't have been born. Okay. Just going to explain something here. Here's the Tully family. I'm at the end, Paul's next. Lucy, hands up. Just say present. Melanie? Present, good. Amy? And Mark? Mark, okay, 6 of us. 6 kids. Just made a bar chart here. I'm unemployed at the moment, so I'm trying to sell myself. This bar chart represents the years of our birth. Nothing will really stand out there, but if I put it like this, you will see the months between each respective sibling. And if you look in the middle, there's 58 months, so almost 5 years between myself and my younger brother. It's the biggest gap between any of us. So what does that mean? It means I remember before Paul was around, when I was the baby, when things were good. So I'll just show you some snaps of a family pre-Paul. Almost smiling then. continue. Moving on. And okay. So what you had been, it will cut out. Okay, there I am, Daddy's little boy. Mum, hair's looking well. We weren't the Addams family, by the way, but the complete family. So what happened? There I am, Mummy's boy. Life is good. For the first 5 years of my life, life was very good indeed. I asked my mum why there were more. I'll try and put on the Irish accent. To be honest, I only wanted 3 of you. It was him that wanted more. I'd like to say he was God, but he wasn't. Just like that. Here he is there. They say alcohol makes a man infertile. So, he was scoring a hat-trick, he went and scored another hat-trick, and there were 3 more. Obviously, Paul. Lucy, don't worry about her, and Amy, let's get them off. All about this guy. So there he is, Mummy's new little angel. The 2 things behind him, by the way, are not wings, they're actually his ears. But I'll get to that in a moment. Moving on. Okay, ignore the special one. There was a new special one in town. Paul Tully. How special? Okay, this pie chart shows annual parental birthday and Christmas present expenditure. I don't need to say much, you just know who was the spoiled one. How spoiled this picture sums it up so well. There's Lucy. For her birthday, she got a trolley, which you can push. It's quite good, you can push it. And Paul got a Tomy motorbike. It was $129.99. This is 1987, so factor in inflation. It's just ridiculous. So anyway, so reason number 1, Paul should have been born. Reason number 2, there were complications. It's quite sensitive, but we've got to speak about it. Okay, there were complications with Paul. This is Paul. One of them wasn't that he was born with 6 legs. That's just the way it's The complications with Paul hinge on the fact, basically, Paul's bits were too big. I know that sounds like a good thing when you're looking for a lady, but here's Paul. He's a big boy. Okay. Right. He told me not to do this, but I've got to get revenge. Okay, first thing, Paul was born with not big ears, but they stuck out a little bit, so they've been pinned back, so it was rectified, but he has had plastic surgery. Next, Paul's born with a big mouth. He says he was born with too few teeth. I say his mouth was too big to hold his teeth. Number 3, Paul had big tonsils. He was very sick as a child, so it was a bit harsh, but they've been taken out, he's okay now. And number 4, Paul had a big appendix, which nearly killed him. It was close to rupturing once, and he survived. It did rupture, and he didn't die. So. At the other end, after all the surgery, the trips to orthodontists, and the hospital visits, he's a handsome fella, and that is what perfection looks like. Okay. The thing is, when a man is very good looking, Sod's Law suggests he may not be into beautiful women. That's what I said when I saw photos. Okay. Okay, because I've lived overseas, I've never actually gone out drinking with my younger brother, and because of the age gap. So when I came home, I flipped through some photos a few years back. This was him on a lad's holiday, I think he was about 18. There's someone in this picture who, I don't know if it's the pouty face or the plucked eyebrows or the tight white t-shirt, but I was like, okay, Paul's got a gay friend, that's fine. But then when I started flicking through the photos, it just got worse. I'm not going to speak, I'll just show you. Everyone, get back to the lyric game. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Sorry, Hans Gruber, couldn't resist. Just going to go back to some of these photos. I didn't mind it that my brother was gay, no problem at all. But what bothered me is that when a bloke clearly wasn't and had a girlfriend, it didn't stop Paul. It's like the girls were invisible. This one is the most painful. She's actually in some pain there. Let's just push her out of the way and then smooth it. So anyway, so let's get this one back up. Okay. But then something happened. Paul met someone. And this is the momentous occasion. In fairness, Louise did have short hair, so her hairstyle was a little boyish, I think that's it. But what I like here is the relief of his friends, knowing that Paul will no longer harass him. He looks a little bit confused there, but the realisation that, yeah, this girl is alright. Okay. The thing with this is actually an Eskimo kiss, so it ties in with the winter feel of the wedding. Okay, final reason, I'm nearly finished, is why on earth did Louise choose Paul? Okay, there she is, she's a classy girl. I think this was in Yates, this is one of the first times I saw her. This is a tough lyric one, but some might get it. She wore a raspberry beret.
And when it was warm, she wouldn't wear much more.
No.
Oh.
The kind you find?
In a second-hand store.
No, not our Luby. This is expensive. She doesn't shop in Oxford. Okay, she's a classy girl, she comes from Whitmore Hill. High society. From a young age, Luby was mixing with the rich and famous. It's a wax word, they've melted it, It's not real. Few of you may not know that she also, a few years ago, was dating media mogul Chris Evans. She dumped him, he went off with Billy, and she moved in to the biggest heartthrob of the 90s. Sorry, gonna let this play. Apparently he wrote this for our Louise. So if you don't believe me?
No.
That's them. Dave. That's them. Being interviewed by the media, actually. This is them, and that is not an Honest Grove taxi. And this is them having high tea at the Savoy. Okay, so what happened in this relationship? What happened was Mark was on tour a lot. It's difficult, but that's the price you pay if you go out with a member of Team That. One evening though, as Mark was on tour, Louise was bored. She wanted to see how the other half lived. So she left Winchmore Hill and travelled down to Holloway Road. And there, I found this place. Okay, cut that off. And across the crowded dance floor. Whoops, sorry. Music kicks in. The music not okay.
Hey!
Okay. Now we'll come on. Right. So whether you think it's a miracle or not, I certainly do. But I just want to say I'm really happy that miracles do happen. And on that, sorry, I've got the toast here. It's the one thing I have written out. Okay, so if you would stand and join me in a toast. Okay. Today, Louise Slade miraculously, but thankfully, agreed to marry my brother Paul, and in doing so, became Louise Tully. Sadly, this is not the last time we will hear Slade at Christmas. So on that note, please join me in a Slade-inspired toast to the newlyweds. For here it is, Paul and Newbie's wedding day. Everybody, try to have fun. Here's to their future, it's only just begun. Okay, sorry, I've just got one more thing to do. It will be over in a minute, really sorry. It'll be really quick. Firstly, I don't earn much working in Thailand. I do try to save. I do have the odd bet on the side, and I've won a little bit of money. I want to help Paul and Louise. I know it's difficult for them, new couple, trying to get on the property ladder. So I want to help with their deposit. I know they were looking at a house recently. Louise was keen. It's just a small place, but I've got a bit of money here I'm going to give to them. Yep, 1,700 baht, which is about £37. This is the house. $89.99. If you go to the sales, you might be able to get it cheaper. This is the very last thing. I'm not speaking, someone else is. It's just a short video. I actually went this week to Grovelands Park and bumped into someone who used to know Louise. And I was like, look, could you just say something nice at the wedding? It's an old friend. So here it is. This is in Grovelands, and take it away.
It seems it's got a marvellous journey. So today's your marriage. I want to wish you the best of luck. Sending lots of love and look forward to the tea for tree and the Savoy in the future.
When Mark there said tea for free, sadly I think he meant super tea for free, but apart from that, it's no, it's super tea. Yeah, I think he was just on the break from the Priory, which is in But in fairness, he was a really good sport for doing that. He didn't have to do that. I really appreciate him. I'll send him an email. He's an old mate of mine as well. So. Alright, that's it. I'm saying that.